9-3. But you know what? The only reason I've been playing 19 years is to get to that 1,000 yards. And I did it, so that's it. I'm out. Time to ride off into the sunset. Gotta get back to work.
Was anyone else distracted by that car or nah? What's up, guys? Welcome into Patriots Now. I'm Rachel Holt. Tom Brady and the Pats taking down the Vikings in Week 13, and yeah, Tom, we're not ready for you to ride off into the sunset just yet. Brady going 24 of 32 with 311 yards and a touchdown. Fantasy owners didn't love the fact that it was unsuspecting James Devlin who powered his way into the end zone twice for the Pats. Josh Gordon also reeling in a TD. Here's what Flash Gordon had to say after the game.
It was great, I just had to be patient. I think that's just how the flow of the game was going. You gotta let it play itself out. It was great to just, get opportunity, make a play. It felt like home a long time ago. The atmosphere is very welcoming. It's been pretty smooth so far, and that's a great doing part to the facility, the organization, just everybody helped me along the way. So.
And as you already heard, the big news of the game, Tom Brady reaching 1,000 career rushing yards. It only took him 265 games. Bill Belichick was obviously overjoyed by the accomplishment.
Tom got the 1,000 yards rushing, which I know you had mentioned in a past news conference. Do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, that's really important to us. It's great.
Okay, so maybe not. But neither was Brady, who wanted to brush off the milestone.
I just give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They blocked our tails off today against a good front. And, I don't want to make too much of a, 4 or 5 yard gain. That wasn't really the difference in the game.
Were you mindful of not losing 5 at the end?
I'm not trying to go backwards, so I don't want us to go backwards anymore. Try to inch up on those kneel downs a little bit.
Yeah, running. Not one of Brady's strengths. Lucky for Pats fans, winning is. Next up, New England faces the Miami Dolphins in a divisional matchup. With the win in Miami, the Pats will clinch the AFC East title. The last time these two teams met in Week 4, the Pats absolutely dominated, beating the Dolphins 38-7. But okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It may not be as easy as it looks on paper. In the last 12 games these two teams have played, the home team is 11-1. 4 of the last 5 times New England has played in Miami, they've lost. Also not helping matters, the Pats really haven't been that sharp on the road this season. They're 3-3 in away games, while Miami is 5-1 at Hard Rock Stadium. Here are some injuries of note. Knock on wood. A very healthy Pats team at this point in the season. It's one of their strengths going into this one. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski were both limited on Wednesday, but removed from the list on Thursday, all good to go. Dwayne Allen and Patrick Chung were both limited. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, there's a whole slew of guys on the injury report this week, including former Patriot Danny Amendola, who is limited this week. The wide receiver sat out the previous week with a knee injury, but it looks like he is on pace to return on Sunday. And here's a look at the playoff picture. The Patriots sit at second place in the AFC with a 9-3 record. They hold the tiebreaker over the third-seeded Texans due to their win over Houston in Week 1. The Pats trail the Chiefs by a game, and they hold the tiebreaker against them due to their Week 6 win over Kansas City. The Steelers are in fourth with a 7-4-1 record, and they'll face the Pats in Week 15 in the Steel City. As for the division, as we mentioned, the Patriots can wrap it up with a win over Miami this week. It'll be the 10th consecutive season the Patriots win the AFC East. I'm sure you have questions. Lucky for you, we're bringing in our expert, Doug Kyde, to help you out and answer his mailbag. Doug, take it away.
Hello and welcome to this week's mailbag. I'm Doug Kyde. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug, and I will try to answer it. First one here comes from at Burgess and Fries, who asks, who do you predict to be the Patriots' X factor for the remainder of the regular season? Usually the answer here would be Rob Gronkowski, but Gronk really still has not looked like himself this season. I think that Josh Gordon has actually jumped Gronk on the Patriots' most important receiving weapon list, if such a thing even exists. I thought that Josh Gordon really proved that in Week 13 against Minnesota Vikings, when he really changed up the offense when the Patriots started targeting him in the second half of the game. He only had 4 targets all game. They all came late in the third quarter. early in the fourth quarter, picked up 58 yards and a 20-yard pass interference penalty, and the Patriots offense really got a kickstart from Gordon's involvement. So I do think that Gordon will be the X factor moving forward. Second question here comes from Josh Randall, who asks, what's your thoughts on Josh McDaniels? Is this the year he actually leaves, or is he really waiting to succeed Belichick? I think the safe answer whenever you're talking about Josh McDaniels is that he's not going to leave, because he's been here since 2011. Every year, every offseason, he's rumored as a future head coaching option, and he never takes the job. He interviews with a bunch of teams, he never gets the job, he never takes the job. That really came to a forefront last year with the Colts when he did accept the job, and then backtracked and came back here as the Patriots offensive coordinator. So I don't trust that he's going to take a head coaching position anywhere in the near future, but we'll see.
If your friend dressed up in a mascot uniform, would you know it was them? The Pats put Rob Gronkowski to the test. One of his teammates put on Pat Patriot's outfit, and Gronk had to guess who it was. See if you can figure it out.
One of Gronk's teammates is inside the locker room dressing up as Pat the Patriot.
Look at that running style, man.
I don't know, he looks
pretty athletic. How many Super Bowls have you played in?
4.
Okay. Oh, you got better pecs than me?
Nope. No, he doesn't.
I knew it. Come on, Nick. But is your 40-yard dash faster than mine? I don't know. Can you do an impression of me, please?
Oh.
That's a touch prize spike.
Can you do the cobra?
Oh, the downward dog.
The downward dog. Do the downward dog.
One of those, please.
Press it.
Okay. You know, the one the kids do. Like, oh, yeah. There he goes. If you have a nickname, will you please act it out? It is the squirrel, JE11, Julian Edelman.
Is that it? Your final answer?
Friend.
Yes, JE!
Did you know who it was? Julian Edelman thought it was his squirrel impression that gave it away. And we don't know who is in the costume doing this, but we want to give them kudos because they have some pretty sweet dance moves. The team getting in the spirit at the 25th annual holiday party, Trey Flowers getting dressed up as a snowman. Looking good. Thanks for checking out Patriots Now. We appreciate you. Before we go, we would like to show our appreciation for Devin McCourty, who is nominated for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award.
His mom did an outstanding job, and it's really a great honor and to be able to present Devin with this. Thank you.
The reason I got into sickle cell was my aunt has a disease, my uncle has a disease, and then the more I looked into it, you know, a lot of minorities have the disease and it just doesn't get covered. No one really talks about it. And I felt it was the same thing with the different social injustice issues and topics that I kind of dove into. It was people that often in our country not cared about really, and no one, you know, gives it a second look. It's kind of just overlooked. So it was issues that I felt with my platform I could jump in and try to highlight and spotlight.
The winner will be announced on February 2nd, but in the meantime, you can support him by using the hashtag WPMOYChallenge and McCourty's last name somewhere in the post. That does it for this episode of Patriots Now. Goodbye.